You feel it. You know you feel it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Camille, who, the performing arts a woman. You know who. Yeah. I had to throw some African flavor up in there. I actually played that song I actually played that groove alongside a tune that I played on my band's First Comes Love album. The song's called Love in Six. And the reason why I chose that tune is because I wanted to bring up, I don't know, just a little bit more about my story, okay? And bring up a point. Of course, you know I'm going to have some sort of point and a Bible verse to go along with this. That song I played with, actually, okay. We're going to go back. You guys know that I've been a performing artist my whole life, right? And the thing about being a performing artist is that you never know where you're going to go, right? Like if you have a heart and you are just driven in your artistry, you're just going to go. You're just doing it. And if you learn to do it in a professional way, then you can actually go pretty far. And what's cool about being a performing artist is that, especially if you're if you're not just a singer or you're not just a dancer, even still, like if you're just a dancer, you don't know where you're going to end up, really. Like if you just keep doing it, you really can go far. And it's a roller coaster ride. It's a really cool, crazy roller coaster ride. Now, being from New York City, I have the work ethic of like you never say you can't do it or you never say you don't know how to do it. So I learned to just go, yeah, sure, I can do that. And then it led to some other new adventure, which is super cool. I'm going to give you just like a brief dare I, if I can, give you a brief, one thing led to another kind of streamline event recall of my career. So I started out, golly, all right. And you'll see how all of this ties together. But I started out caring for children at like age 9. I wanted like 12 kids for myself. Like I wanted to have 12 kids. I'm a little crazy, but it's okay. I love children, and it all makes sense, right? Because I teach children. Anyway, started out a caretaker, but always knew that I wanted to be on stage. I was always performing. I was always performing for my family, for the neighbors, at birthday parties, and that led to me going to the LaGuardia High School Music and Art and Performing Arts High School. In there, I met Morgan Heritage. I started to sing and dance, and then we toured. In high school, I was touring with Morgan Heritage. I later became a mom right out of high school. Like a year out of high school, I became a mom, which, as I said before, I wanted a lot of children, so I was on a mission anyway. That being said, so I became a mom. But I also was still touring, right? I also was doing shows. Like a lot of my family was like, "How are you going to do both?" And I was like, "I'll show you. I can do both. It's who I am." Anyway, so I did, right? It was crazy, like juggling the two. I don't always remember. I can't say that I recommend it, because really, in order to be successful at any one of these things, like I think that you have to. I don't know, you have to be able to really, really do a great balancing act and have the support that you can have in order to do both. But it was tough balancing being an artist and being a mom. Anyway, so managed to do that. So let's see. That led to being in Stomp. I was in Stomp for 10 years. I did the New York show, and then I also toured with them. That led to going to Pennsylvania and being a lead vocalist, front woman, percussionist for Post Junction. That led to playing and performing for the festival circuit. I performed on the stages, but I also then became a teaching artist at the Kids Zones. So there was that double thing going on, and my kids were able to go to the festivals with me and have fun there. That led to meeting Bernie Worrell, the late great Bernie Worrell, who was later very close to the end of his life. He was inducted into the Music Hall of Fame. He was the original keyboardist for Parliament Funkadelic. He put the funk in the funk. Okay, but it just was a prodigy. I think his first classical concert was at age 4. Got to play with him, got to write with him, got to then connect with Steve Kimmock and Steve Kimmock and Friends and Steve Kimmock and Bernie Worrell and Friends. And we toured and we played together. Eventually going to Delfest and being a teaching artist there. And I mean, somewhere in there became a teaching artist at Pennsylvania Youth Theater. Shout out to Pennsylvania Youth Theater in Bethlehem. This is my 14th year with them. Love them folks. I choreographed shows there. I learned to direct plays there. I also became a playwright. I wrote and directed and choreographed my own shows. And the bottom line is one thing led to another. I'm like your exception case where college could have never prepared me for what I did in my career, or what I've done, or what I've been doing in my career. I just really am one of a kind, I guess, in that respect. But I know many other people that are also just like, nope, college couldn't have prepared me for all the many things that I do. Coming from New York City, having the ethic of, no, you don't say you can't do it. It really got me on an amazing ride in my career. The one thing led to another, and really none of this I could have predicted, which is really super cool. And lots of learning curves along the way. Nowadays, you can just go on YouTube and learn how to, create whatever kind of piece, or do some kind of like drummy thing. I don't know. If you're already a percussionist, you can learn how to play another kind of thing, like whatever. The bottom line is, it was quite the roller coaster, and has been, right? Like, this is not the end of it. And even just in these YouTube videos, look, I don't know where this is going, right? I'm just kind of like following what my heart says, and my heart says, you know what? Make some videos. and show yourself to the people, put yourself out there, and maybe like just, I don't know, blend the Bible verses with what you already do, because God gave you your gift, so give him the glory, right? Give him the credit. So I don't know where this is gonna go. Anyway, I say all of this to say this, and I'm going to quote Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11, and this is in the Good News translation. I read from more than one different translations of the Bible, because I just want to know and get a deeper knowledge and get more levels and more layers of, really, I would say, the blueprint of life. More than that, it's a love letter from God to let us know what he's done in order to bring us back to himself. The scripture that I am authenticating this whole experience, life experience, ups and downs, roller coaster, crazy music and writing and performing arts career and being a mother, all of these things, this whole crazy roller coaster ride. Here is the scripture. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11, in the Good News version. He has set the right time for everything. He has given us a desire to know the future, but never gives us the satisfaction of understanding everything that he does, or fully understanding what he does. I couldn't have predicted what my life would have been today, right? I just had to take that first step. Yes, I had the desire to, like, where am I even going to go? Like, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to be on stage, or yada, 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 but really, I really couldn't have told you that this is where I was going to be. And I'm quite happy, and I feel like I'm successful in a lot of ways, because I've accomplished so much, and I'm still just turning pages and really just discovering more and more of who I am. But yeah, so I said all that. And I'm thanking you guys for hanging out with me on these YouTube videos. This is Camille Who, the performing arts Renaissance woman, and I am